Welcome to Dental Lab Insights, and I'm very pleased to say I've got Jesus Romero with me today. He's Director of Marketing and Business Development at Bella Vita Designs. Jesus, nice to see you. Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So what I wanted to do to start with is just to ask you a little bit about how you approach dentists when you go into their practices. What are the kind of approaches that you use?
Yeah. When I first began, I would try and market to them, and I would just focus on one product, whether it was mainly just crown and bridge. That was our bread and butter. And I realized that even though they didn't need me for that, they still needed me for other things. And so I started changing how I spoke to the doctors, and my verbiage was a little bit different. Hey, instead of I can do this for you, it's what can I do for you? And so I would ask them, hey, what is your biggest headache in your practice, in your everyday practice, and what you're doing? And they would come up with different responses. Hey, maybe it's ortho, or maybe it's surgical guides, or maybe it's this, and us being not only specifically doing crown and bridge, it opened up to more conversations and being able to help them. So all of our doctors, we service them differently, so we have different things for them.
And what are the sort of things did it surprise you, the kind of answers they were coming back with sometimes? And
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of times they would say, oh, yeah, no, don't worry about it. We have a lab, or we do everything in-house. And then, I would just even open up the question again and saying, well, hey, do you do zirconia? It's like, oh, no, we actually don't do that. We don't have the proper equipment or the oven to do it. Then that opens up a question like, oh, well, who does your zirconia? We can help you out with that. Or it may be, a question of how busy they are in the practice, and do they have time for designing, or do they have time for milling out, I guess surgical guides instead of milling out crowns. So I was like, hey, let us take that off your plate. That way you have one less thing to worry about, and help you out in those realms. So I was surprised to see what they were saying. It wasn't just crown and bridge, and it makes sense because we do a little bit more than just crown and bridge.
Yes, which is interesting because I know you said before that if you just go in and crown is a crown in some ways. Lots of people. So where's the differentiation for the business? So what are the main ways you think that labs should be kind of setting themselves apart from just the actual crown?
Yeah, well, I mean, in today's technology, we can all produce very much similar crowns. It's all very consistent, with CAD/CAM softwares and technologies. Everything can look very much very similar. People can add more aesthetics or more details to it. So in that part, you have to see what sets yourself apart. For us, I tell our doctors, like, hey, we don't really sell you crowns. We sell you everything else. We sell you the expertise, our attention to detail, knowledge on materials, education, not just on materials for you, for your machines and different things like that. So all of that stuff wrapped up is what you're paying for. The crowns is just what you get. That's just the the hard stuff, but you're getting a lot more than just the crown.
Yeah. Are there certain things that come up time and time again where you realize that the foundation of your relationship with the dental practice is based on certain things? I mean, is it speed? Is it communication? What are the things that? I
mean, for us, it is the relationship that we have. But I would say that it's the biggest thing is the knowledge that we have. Their software is very much similar to a lot of our software now too. So with us being trainers and speakers, we know the software very well. We try to help them out with that. So we try to help them out with everything, and in that point we build credibility and trust with them, that if they have a difficult case, they know that they're going to send it to us because we're supposed to be experts. So we are the experts in the industry, so they know that they can trust us with their difficult cases.
Yes, and the trust is massive, isn't it? I guess.
Correct.
So once you've established that,
yeah,
then
and it breaks open too for more things. You go in asking for a wide range, and they trust you to do maybe it's surgical guides, or they trust you to do digital dentures, and then it opens up oh, hey, by the way, our crown and bridge is lacking a little bit from the other lab, or hey, I don't have time to do the designing, can you guys help us out with that? It opens up to do more things after you build that trust and credibility.
And do you find that dental labs are becoming more like technology advisors to dental practices these days? Is that overstating it, or is that?
No, I mean, yeah, definitely. They provide a lot of knowledge. I mean, the luxury that we get is we have a little bit more time. In their practice, it's very rapid and it's quick. They have to see a certain amount of people. They have to kind of get people. We get a little bit more of a luxury, and we can see how we can use the software, and so we're able to get a little more advanced with the software. We're able to try out new equipment, read more about equipment, try different things, beta test things, where they may not have that opportunity. So once we become more expertise in the field, and expertise in technology and that equipment of the software, now we're able to pass that on to the doctors and help them out a little bit too.
Okay. And for many dental labs, I guess the marketing budget is going to be quite tight. So what's the kind of the first thing or the major thing that you think that dental labs can do to improve their marketing?
A lot of it is just knowing that you kind of go in with you don't go in, your budget is a little bit different. Yeah. So if you don't have a big budget, you're able to do things different ways. Speaking, your verbiage is a little bit different. You're still able to do things that are free, like social media marketing. You're able to still provide knowledge, even all the knowledge that we have, and pass that on to the doctors. It doesn't necessarily cost us anything to do. So with our budget, we're able to do that, and again, gain credibility and gain confidence in them.
Yes, great. And one thing I noticed in somewhere in your marketing material, you mentioned the iceberg illusion.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah. So the iceberg illusion, on the surface is above the water is the iceberg that sticks out in the tip, and that's the success. Right. That's what everyone sees. That's what we post on social media platforms. Everyone likes seeing the success, but underneath the iceberg is actually a lot larger, and there's a lot more underneath the surface, and that's all the stuff that goes into making that success. It's the hard work, it's the determination, it's the discipline, it's the blood, sweat, and tears that you don't get to actually see. And a lot of times, those aren't the things that you post. Those aren't glorious and cool to see. But the success is, and that's what's up top on the surface.
Yeah, fantastic. So. I'm sure that's a message everybody can kind of appreciate. Who runs their own business. So. Jesus, that's brilliant. Thank you very much for coming in.
Absolutely.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot. And join us next time for another episode of Dental Lab Insights.